Crispy's Tavern merch is now available at crispystavern-shop.fourthwall.com. We got shirts now! This is honestly one of the best ways to help the channel out, so if you want to get an awesome shirt, then head down to the description down below. Hey, want to hear a story? There was a clip from Smosh that went viral a while back. Let's see if you guys have seen this before.
So rare to meet a blue-haired white guy who likes anime.
Yeah, still funny to this day. It features Damien Haas and his girlfriend at the time, Saige Ryan. Now, Saige was pretty well liked by the Smosh audience, especially after that little clip. I mean, how could people not like her? That was hilarious.
You even showed me how to read the manga right. It starts in the back.
The back.
However, after her appearance in that clip, she appeared on Smosh a few times and then disappeared from the channel. And it didn't take a rocket scientist to figure out why. I mean, Damien Haas, he's a regular member of Smosh, but Saige was mostly a guest, and she was primarily there because of her relationship with Damien. So if that relationship ended, therefore, no more Saige. Now, even the parasocial fans were happy to just move on from this. Damien and Saige were a thing, and now they're not. Damien went on to continue with Smosh and have a very successful VO career, while Saige Ryan delved headfirst into the TTRPG space. She was a part of Pixel Circus alongside some pretty prominent women in the tabletop industry. Some of them you might recognize. Mika Burton, who appeared on Critical Role. Becca Scott, who appeared on Dimension 20, as well as many other faces. Their collaborator list is pretty extensive. People like Brennan Lee Mulligan showing up as guests as well. So Pixel Circus, Saige Ryan, doing pretty well for herself, right? Well, Pixel Circus, and Saige for that matter, they haven't been posting much recently. Is it because she's working on some big project, some new actual play? Well, maybe, but I'm pretty sure the primary reason is because Saige Ryan has been embroiled in one of the craziest controversies I have seen in the tabletop gaming space. It involves police reports, alleged cheating, faking an arrest. It's a lot. There's even racism sprinkled on there just for good measure. All of this conspiracy in the LA D&D space, all in an effort to attack people of color who work on TTRPGs. Yeah, Saige Ryan is kind of crazy, allegedly. And while I'm gonna burn probably every bridge I could have in LA making this video, I think someone needs to talk about it. So without further ado, guys, what the hell happened?
Harassment and stalking from Saige Ryan.
The number one thing I want you to take from this, if you are a person of color, you are not safe around Saige Ryan. You are never safe around Saige Ryan.
Okay, so the whole story does not start with Saige Ryan. It actually starts with Jordan Brown. Who's Jordan Brown? Well, Jordan Brown is a journalist who reports on Dropout TV. Now, if the ominous air quotes around journalist didn't give you a pause, I'm just gonna spell it out. He's not a journalist. He is a TikTok reporter. Now, I'm sure there's some journalistic integrity to be found on TikTok, but unfortunately, you're not gonna find it with Jordan. Jordan is not a journalist. He is a glazer. His whole page exists to promote Dropout TV. He does interviews with the cast. He even had Sam Reich, the head of Dropout, on his show, and all that is pretty impressive. Frankly, I have no problem with glazing Dropout TV. If you're going to unquestionably praise anything, Dropout's not bad. They make a lot of good stuff, in fact. However, Jordan Brown decided to step out of his comfort zone one day. Rather than using his iPhone selfie cam to just promote Dropout's latest product, he decided to instead expose a member of Dropout's cast, Omar Najam. Who's Omar? Well, he's not really a regular cast member. He appeared a handful of times on Dimension 20, but still, he was absolutely part of the platform, and Jordan Brown revealed some very troubling misinformation. Apparently, Omar has a vague, problematic past. But despite the non-committal reporting, Jordan Brown decided to end his video by demanding that conventions Omar appears at take action by canceling his events. This is, that's a big claim to make with not a lot of evidence to back it up. I mean, seriously, Jordan Brown's a TikTok reporter. You bet your ass he's not doing his own due diligence, so who gave him this information? Well, Serena, Omar's partner, she has some theories. She made a video of her own condemning Jordan Brown's reporting and calling out who she believes is behind this. Who is it? Well, if you guessed Saige Ryan, you would be right.
Myself and my partner Omar have been dealing with for over 2 years, and that is the harassment and stalking and rumors and full cancellation attempt from Saige Ryan.
Allegedly, Saige Ryan has been circulating these same rumors around the LA TTRPG space. This screenshot was posted by Ifeanyiwe to back up this story. Omar Najam was found guilty of stalking, revenge porn, and being a violent threat to Saige, completely uncontested. He now has a domestic violence restraining order against him for the next 3 years, and detectives are bringing criminal charges against him after a 19-year-old boy he groomed and conspired with has come forward. This is something we've been dealing with secretly for almost a year now on consultation from detectives and a lawyer, and it's been a living hell. Stay safe. Now, those are some pretty serious claims, and again, according to Serena, it's Saige Ryan who is allegedly sprinkling these around. So, are they true? Well, a few of them I can shoot down right away. For starters, Omar has not been found guilty of anything yet. This is a misdemeanor. It's being charged by, the city court. Look, it's absolutely possible that Omar is guilty of some level of this in some way, shape, or form. But has he been found guilty? No. That is not true. These claims, if they're made by Saige, they are incredibly irresponsible and incredibly dangerous. And Jordan Brown perpetuating similar claims is very, very bad. It's not a good look for the guy. A lot of people came out to defend Omar after this video was published. Obviously, we have Serena, Omar's partner, who published a very emotional and now deleted video responding to these claims. But, like I said, not the only one. Ifeanyiwe also put out claims of his own. This guy is not like a collaborator at Dropout. He is a regular cast member, and he was quick to shoot this stuff down, claiming that Omar Najam was never arrested. He was just served some papers. All that's happened is that a complaint has been made by Saige. Jasmine Bueller also came out with a thread of her own, condemning Jordan Brown's sloppy reporting on an ongoing legal matter that has not yet concluded. Jordan Brown has deleted this video and published a very mumbling apology afterwards.
You must certainly have seen my video today and likely the response video. I just want to say that my reporting was not helpful in any way. It is an ongoing case. Doesn't matter what my intentions.
Ah yes, the one hit point whiny white boy voice. How I've missed thee. This is not the only response he made. He also made another video much more coherent, showing off all the steps he's taken to improve his reporting, like taking journalism classes and trying to write a code of ethics for online journalists.
And finally, and this is much more abstract and ambitious, I'm working on trying to develop a standard of ethics for online reporters.
Jordan, I graduated with a bachelor's in journalism, mass communication, and digital audiences. So I've taken these classes, and first and foremost, they don't automatically make you a perfect reporter. You can still be a bad journalist after going to journalism school, trust me. And on top of that, bro, there are ethics codes out there for journalists. Many of them, in fact. Oh, and most of them have at the top that you should verify your sources. But yeah, that's the end of Jordan Brown's story. This isn't about him. This is about Saige Ryan, because guys, after Serena put out her video condemning Jordan's claims and calling out Saige's involvement, more people came out the woodwork to talk about her past behavior. And the rabbit hole goes very, very deep. Okay, B. Dave Walters. B. Dave Walters is a previous dungeon master for Saige Ryan. He ran the show Black Dice Society. He's actually done a lot of stuff for Wizards of the Coast and across the TTRPG industry in general. If you look at the list of people he's worked with, it's pretty extensive. It includes some asshole named Crispy's Tavern from back when he was in college. I mean, God, he probably regrets doing that collaboration. But anyway, yeah, the point is, he's very prolific in the TTRPG space, and he had some very serious words to say about Saige Ryan. Apparently, the two of them have a very one-sided beef, and Saige has been trying to ruin his career ever since it started. What began this beef, though? Why does Saige hate him so much? Well,
And I was on the phone talking to someone else, and I was on speakerphone, and I unmuted Zoom to say, hey, when Saige shows up, let me know, and we'll start recording the episode. The person I was on the phone with on speakerphone says right into the microphone, what the fuck is up with that Bane's Break show she's on? It looks like shit. Of course, Saige is on the call and just hadn't turned her camera on yet. Of course she hears this, and I'm like, oh no.
in case you didn't get it, here's what happened. The two were on a Discord call. B-Dave had a friend on the phone. Saige was brought up, and the friend said, Saige's show looks bad. And Saige heard that, and now she hates B-Dave for life. B-Dave did not say Saige's show looks bad. It was a friend he had on speakerphone.
They didn't think you would hear that. They never would have said that to you. This is not a person that is in the D&D space. This is not a person that can inhibit your career. So as such, I am going to keep their confidence. I'm not going to tell you who it was. And if the roles were reversed, I would do the same for you. She proceeds to say, if you won't tell me who it is, who's talking shit about me, that is the exact same thing as you talking shit about me.
This is what caused the blood feud. Yeah, Saige's response to this was very immature. She held on to this grudge for months upon months. And she was still in Black Dice Society, by the way. She stuck around, and you bet that was very, very, very awkward. But it gets worse, because one day, Comic-Con rolls around, and Saige and B-Dave, they're on some panels together. And Saige, she can't even bring herself to sit next to the guy.
And we're supposed to sit side by side. We had a couple actual plays too. And she sends along one of her people to move her name card so that she doesn't sit next to me anymore. And I was like, that's weird. So the person who'd arranged it switched it, would put her back next to me, and she sent someone to move it again. And I was like, okay, you're an infant.
Okay, dude, you do you, whatever. But after that, B-Dave started noticing something even more problematic. People around the con were giving him very dirty looks. Why? Well, he was sent some screenshots of messages from the women of Pixel Circus claiming that he's a predator.
People being like, do you know what they're saying about you? And getting screenshots of how the women of Pixel Circus are alleging that I have taken advantage of a vulnerable member of the community, that I am a known predator, and that an accusation is coming soon. Note, 3 years later, never happened. So.
Yeah, that's a lot, and obviously B-Dave was very stressed out by these claims, especially since they were so unsubstantiated and so many people seemed to be believing them. He gathered up his receipts, gathered up his story, got all the records straight, and went to all of his business contacts to make sure that they knew his side of the story. And while he cleared things up with almost everyone in his business, there was one company that didn't listen. Wizards of the Coast.
And for the most part, that worked and insulated me in almost everything that I did, except with WotC, except with Wizards of the Coast. She had an in there because there was someone that she knows that I introduced her to that she probably doesn't remember that I introduced her to, and he may not either. And I got completely frozen out there.
Yeah, if you're wondering why B-Dave doesn't appear much in Wizards of the Coast projects, this is why. It's because of Saige Ryan. Now, I'm going to talk more about the legitimacy of these claims, but just to say the least, I don't really believe they're true based on the fact that there's obviously no evidence. On top of that, if this guy, B-Dave, if he's such a horrible monster, one, why did Saige Ryan continue to work with him for months upon months? And two, why are there no public claims? I mean, Saige and the women of Pixel Circus, as B-Dave puts it, they claimed that people would be coming out about B-Dave soon, that there would be open accusations made against him very soon. Yeah, 3 years later, and nothing. I mean, guys, it's very possible that these claims are true, that behind the scenes, B-Dave is some horrible monster. But again, there is no evidence of that, so Saige going around and spreading that lie to everybody at a con, secretly, just behind the scenes, I'm sorry, but I think that's very, very suspicious. And B-Dave is not the only person to talk about this kind of behavior from Saige Ryan. You know who else talked about this? Dale Kingsmill? Yeah, Monarch's Factory, you know, from Australia. How the hell did Saige Ryan get to her? Well, to hear Dale say it, I can't decide if I am more furious or disgusted or just really disappointed and disillusioned by some of the people in my industry. Some poisonous individuals have been telling very dangerous lies about Omar Najam, and as salt in the wound, they've mentioned me alongside themselves as a supposed victim of something my friend never did. They are wearing victimhood like a fashion trend in a bid to gain power and wealth through sympathy, and they've tried to dress me the same way. My name was weaponized against one of my closest friends while I was stuck on the other side of an ocean, feeling totally helpless. Obviously, this is in relation to Omar, not to B-Dave, but you see the pattern. Saige Ryan takes a person of color, makes some claim of sexual harassment against them, gathers up supposed victims, and then puts it out there, not in public, but in private, so that they can't get the whole story. And apparently, she's stupid enough to use the names of people that she doesn't even know. Like seriously, did she think Dale Kingsmill would just, never find out about this? Obviously, she'd be pissed, but anyway, come on. I'm not gonna give Saige Ryan advice on how to harass people. Clearly, she doesn't need it since she does it a lot. Oh, and Dale Kingsmill, B. Dave Walters doesn't end there. Remember Bane's Break? You know, the show that B. Dave's friend on speakerphone said looks like shit? Well, somebody from Bane's Break, the Dungeon Master, in fact, had his own account about Saige Ryan. I want to be clear that, after working with Saige Ryan closely for 4+ years on multiple projects, and as the prior DM of 2 of her shows on her channel, and as someone who has called herself a friend for 7 years before realizing what she was capable of, I believe Serena, Omar, and B-Dave. I also want to be clear that those three victims are not the only ones. Other victims, and what was done to them, have been circulated and hinted at, and yet more are still completely unknown to the public. Their stories are not mine to tell, but I can personally corroborate much of what happened to them. And should they feel comfortable with discussing their experience, I will support and believe them. This lady, she gets around. And apparently, she gets around in more ways than one. You see, B-Dave tacked on a little something to the end of his testimony. Saige Ryan was not the only person spreading some rumors about B. Dave Walters. There was another person behind the scenes. This same guy also helped to promote the accusations against Omar Najam and circulate the report from Jordan Brown. Who is this guy? Carlos. Who the hell is Carlos? Okay, so Carlos is a producer at Dropout TV. Yeah, it goes full circle. And he is also the current partner of Saige Ryan. He has been aiding her, allegedly, in her efforts to allegedly spread these rumors about his fellow members of the TTRPG space.
I kept hearing there was a specific opportunity that had already been reached out to me and got rescinded. And they were adamant that there's one person who just swears up and down. They know you were this terrible person. They've seen the proof. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Who are you talking about? And I could never figure it out, and I didn't put it together. I found out over the course of this weekend, it was freaking Carlos Luna.
I will also note that while Carlos is mostly behind the scenes crew, he has also appeared on camera on Dropout projects. He is still a member of their company to this day. But what makes this so crazy isn't how she's working with her intimate partner to destroy lives behind the scenes. What makes this actually crazy is how her relationship with Carlos started. Saige Ryan allegedly started her relationship with Carlos after cheating with him. Cheating on Omar Najam. Yeah. Saige and Omar used to be together, and now she's levying these claims against him. This is why she roped him in. This is why she targeted him. B-Dave, it was some petty crap. With Omar, it was way more personal. That's why she's going so much harder on Omar's case. Serena and B-Dave both corroborate this story, that this is how her relationship started with Carlos, by cheating on Omar. But it gets worse than that. How do you think she started her relationship with Omar? Oh. If you guess that she cheated with him, you'd be right. Who did she cheat on? Damian Haas.
Can tell you, she cheated on Damian Haas with Omar. She cheated on Omar with Carlos. Inevitably, when he's no longer of use, she'll discard him too.
At the time, I thought Saige was my friend. She and my ex were having an affair, and she was casting me in shows.
Oh, but guess what? It gets even worse, because guess who Carlos was married to at the time that he cheated with Saige? He was married to Serena, Omar's current partner. Only in LA, bro.
I believe that this all is because my ex-husband and Saige engaged in an affair with each other. He cheated on me with her, and in an attempt to cover that up, once we started telling our friends about it, about what happened to us.
Saige cheated on Omar with Carlos. Previously, she cheated on Damian Haas with Omar. Carlos was married to Serena at the time. Serena and Omar are now together. Saige and Carlos are still together. Good freaking Lord. This is all according to, again, both Serena and B-Dave, both of which corroborate this story. This could all be fabricated. Again, it's just he said, she said. I don't have like concrete DNA evidence or anything like that, but I mean, Saige Ryan has not exactly come out to deny it, nor has Carlos, so I mean, hell guys, if this is true, it's absolutely crazy. No wonder this became such a mess. Exes cheating on exes with exes. Good Lord. But so far, that's the end of the story. I sat on this for about a month just because I wanted to see what would happen. Saige Ryan did put out a response of her own, just saying that she doesn't want to air out her personal stuff and putting out a report about Omar's supposed arrest. And as Ifiwaniwe said way earlier in the video, yeah, this report is extremely suspicious and the wording is very misleading. Saige Ryan made a complaint. Omar Najam is not a criminal. He has not been convicted of anything yet. Saige doing this just shows how petty she is. She doesn't have an in-depth defense of herself. She just throws out a half-assed report going, here, Omar bad. Lord. The backlash has been intense, but it hasn't been intense enough for Dropout to respond yet. In fact, the official Dropout subreddit has been censoring this conversation very, very heavily. The only place where you can get information on it is on Dropout Circle Jerk. Yeah, Circle Jerk subreddits. Saving Reddit still, to this day, in the year of our Lord 2025. Who would have thunk it? At the end here, with the story done, we usually ask the question of why this happened, or what's the takeaway. In my opinion, though, there's a more important question. How? How did Saige do this? Look, Saige Ryan is not nobody, but to claim she's like some super influencer is just not correct. She's a relatively small actual play YouTuber with some friends in LA. That's it. That's all she is. So how did she ruin so many people? Or at least try to ruin so many people? Well, it's connections. She has friends in LA, friends at WotC, friends that she can talk to. And frankly, when you're getting stories from your friends, I mean, how often do you verify them? We're not out here trying to fact check our buddies when they're giving us the tea. And in Saige's case, she's just giving them some very, very serious tea about people in her own industry. And on top of that, she allegedly has her boyfriend backing her up, a person who works at Dropout. And I still cannot believe how crazy that is. I mean, could you imagine the HR nightmare? A producer at the company you work at is working with his girlfriend, who is also your ex, to circulate rumors about you online about your arrest. With the right connections, somebody could do a lot of good or a lot of bad. Saige allegedly chose to do bad. But I think there is a more important takeaway here, not about Saige Ryan, but about Jordan Brown, the reporter, and men like him. Look, when I talked about fact-checking your friends, I was being real here. We don't fact-check our friends. But let's be more real here. Do we fact-check anyone these days? I mean, I feel like people on the internet are just very, very trusting, especially when it comes to their influencers. I'm putting myself in this bucket too, by the way. I screw up sometimes. I screw up, and I am so happy that I have built an audience that are willing to call me out when I screw up. I have never done anything so bad that I have to take down a video, but I have done things that I feel like needs to be corrected. And the people who correct me, I am forever grateful for those people, because that's important. It shows that you guys do not 100% trust me on everything, which is healthy. You should never put all your faith into anyone online, especially someone like me. But unfortunately, not everyone is like that. A lot of people have a lot of faith in their favorite online creators, especially in the TTRPG space. And when someone puts out an uncorroborated, poorly researched, and low-effort video covering a serious topic, often people take it at face value. Jordan Brown is just the guy that got in trouble. People in the TTRPG space do this with scandals all the damn time. Just recently, a relatively large YouTuber put out a video claiming that Critical Role receives a quiet money payment from Wizards of the Coast to force them to play Dungeons and Dragons. This is a really big claim, a really big piece of speculation that he was putting out there. Well, is his evidence of this? Well, that's not a joke. He actually did that bit in his video about this situation. He joked about the fact that he can't talk about his evidence. And frankly, if you can't even vaguely allude to what the evidence is, then you shouldn't be talking at all. The audience has no reason to trust you. This sort of trust me bro mentality is everywhere in the TTRPG space, and we need to stop normalizing it. It utilizes conspiratorial thinking and vague language to point to speculation and act like it's fact. Look, it's very possible that that is what happened, that Wizards of the Coast did give Critical Role a boatload of money and they're keeping it secret from their audience. That is possible. But do you have any proof of it? So far, no. If it's an illegitimate story, then you've misled your audience to spread misinformation. But worse than that, if it's a legitimate story, then you've just made it sound like a stupid conspiracy theory that most reasonable people are not going to believe. Both are bad, both are embarrassing, but in my opinion, one is worse. And the more we normalize this kind of reporting, the more it is going to keep on happening. Jordan Brown is just the guy that got in trouble. Look, I'm not trying to say that we need to burn down every D&D or TTRPG news channel out there. Some of them make some really good stuff, including the guy I talked about just now. But when they do this kind of speculative crap, don't let it lie. Don't just let it sit there. Don't let them hide behind the conspiracy-minded QAnon crap of, I'm just asking questions, oh, I'm just following the money. That vague crap doesn't mean anything. If you don't have a real paper trail, a cited source, any actual evidence, then the story isn't made. If you make it early, if you get lazy about it, if you don't sit on it until it's ready, then you're just screwing up an important piece of reporting. It's frustrating because I see this way too much. Hell, I see it with myself. The recent episode on the GameStop Ape guys, I'm a little nervous to admit it, but it was kind of bad. I did a bad job with that episode. The audio was bad. The verbiage was derivative. The sources were kind of half-assed. I didn't cite a lot. It was kind of bad. I don't regret anything I said in that video. All the people I made fun of there, they all deserve it. But I did a bad job making fun of them. I gave them easy ammunition to fire back at me. That was on me. I screwed up, and I deserve to get called out for that. Hell, I'm calling myself out for it right now. But that kind of thing needs to be normalized. Stop accepting half-ass reporting from people like Jordan Brown, because it empowers people like Saige Ryan to take advantage of that trust. It empowers people like her to hurt other people in the TTRPG industry. And that is something we cannot allow. Do not let your critical thinking be eroded. As a human, it's the best damn thing you got. In any case, that is the story of Saige Ryan, Jordan Brown, and all that crap. It's a lot, and I'm sure there's going to be more after I publish this. But if you guys enjoyed and you were loyal to the tavern, then please do leave the comment, "Holy crap, Saige," to let me know you made it all the way to the end of the video. If you want to see more of our content, then please do check out this previous episode where we talked to Matt Mercer himself. It's linked up in the cards. But before you go, please do leave a like on this one and subscribe to Crispy's Tavern so you don't miss any of our content as it comes out. And finally, if you want to support us directly, buy our merch. There is merch out right now. Shop crispystavern.com. You can get your own Crispy's Tavern t-shirts. They're all beautiful and soft and wonderful. Patrons, you guys get a discount. In essence, like, comment, subscribe, support. I'll see you all next time. Farewell.